not much of a trend. So that's more day trading type activity, potentially anyway, if that is the time frame that you can handle. But when we do get to a point, where we look at the various indicators and things that are going on, you can see that at some point these markets are going to do something different. They're going to break out of that range. We were at or near that high in the 145 area here, and so it broke through there. And when it did break through there, when we looked at that, the August 30th predicted low that we had there was 144.21. I use 1 cent as kind of my average daily range for the euro, and so we're selling 100 points below that at 143.21, and we got in on that trade in the vicinity of right in here. And again, you have to look at your intraday charts to make sure the flow of the prices went according to what you were looking at to determine if if you could have gotten on board at that point. But you ride that market down, you get down to the point where you keep a stop 50 points, half a cent above the predicted high as protect you against that turn. And as it turned out, that was hit. Everybody's kind of got a little jubilant because they say they're going to have plans to rescue the euro, and the China is going to come in, and Germany and France are going to rescue it. Those are all the fundamental factors that are in there. But after the euro dropped and you made about, let's say 6,000, something like that on the short trade, then you would have been stopped out if you were 50 points above that predicted high there at 137.66 or at 138.16, somewhere right in there. You would have been to that market and would have been able to exit, collect your profits, and kind of sit there today and potentially get back long today if the market moves up high enough to go 100 points above that predicted high, or in the vicinity of 138.66, somewhere right in there. That would put you in a long position. Do you want to be long the euro? I don't know. It just depends a little bit kind of on your type of thinking as to whether you want to be long with all the news and all the things that are going on in the euro today, whether it's a gamble worth taking or you kind of want to pass up on it. I don't have time today. I was going to go over the E-mini. Maybe I can do that in a future webinar and talk about the formation of what turned out to be or what looked like a head and shoulders top, and what that head and shoulders formation told you. If you look at the peak to the neckline and then take that distance, put it below the neckline, you'll see that that target came out to be fairly close to where the bottom was. So a lot of different things you can do with charts. You want to get the most out of the charts that you can possibly get out of traditional charting, and then you want to take your technical indicators provided by a program such as Vantage Point to give you some more precise places at which to trade and some spots at which you then might want to take profits or add to positions or do whatever it is you would like to be able to do. Now, we need to summarize a little bit about where we're at. We want to talk about kind of the situation on the charts and wrap it up and talk about what we want the charts to tell us. We want to have the charts tell us. We've got to get back to the charts first of all. Okay, there we go. Get back to the charts. Okay, we want to have these price charts talk to us. We want to have them tell us what they can and what they can. Of course, we're looking at it from a big picture view. That's the biggest value that you get from charts, as opposed to just kind of trying to guess where prices are and what they're doing. Then we want to look at those key price areas on the charts, the areas where you have those rest places, or you have those runs, you have those rest spots. At what point is the emotion of the crowd, and what are the fundamentals, and all the influence should be of all those influences should be incorporated into the price that you see on the chart. And then you have to be able to read what those charts are telling you. You need to know kind of where are those key price areas that you're going to have to take action. Are we at a previous high, previous low? Good battleground here. This is a transition zone potentially from a possible downtrend to an uptrend, or vice versa. Then you need to take, after you see that transition zone and where those shifts might be, then you want to use your indicators and your clues from indicators as to how they're performing and what they look like and what they're suggesting. What do they suggest as a response? At what point should you go long? You kind of need to be that detective and read those tracks and read what they have to say. And You want to go with the breakout, you want to fade the highs or lows, you want to go with the range. You need to know how to react. You don't want to predict, you want to react, and you need to use your indicators to determine how to react. And those indicators then also should be able to give you some kind of a specific action point. At what point will you be a buyer, at what point will you be a seller? And when I say be a buyer or seller, that also includes taking a loss potentially, because you know if that plan that you're on and that whole setup that you have, if it starts to fail, you want to make sure that you minimize risk and get out. You want to have some kind of a plan where you can set up a minimum risk exposure, and if it says get out, then that means you have to get out, because taking that first loss is quite often the best loss you can take. You don't want to, you don't want to have your profit evaporate, so you want to stay in as long as you can, but you also don't want to have a loss evaporate your account. Now, I've rushed through some things. I did not get to the E-mini that I was hoping to, but if there are any questions about some of the things that you might have heard here, and if you have any questions or suggestions, as Darrell mentioned earlier, for what you would like to see in the webinars, we appreciate getting those as well. So open it up for questions and see if there are any that I can answer. Okay. All right, I'm not seeing any questions yet, and I'm about at my time limit. So anyway, I guess if there are no questions, as I say, we have a number of these on the in the archives on the TraderPlanet.com website. We will be doing another number of other webinars in the future. So anything that we can provide for you to help you trade better, that's what we attempt to do. And of course, you can always look for other information at the TraderPlanet.com. A lot of good resources on there, a lot of good people talking, a lot of good opinions. And of course, after you get those opinions, then you got to do those charts, look at those charts, and then it comes down to you. You still have to make the decision. It's not going to be somebody else making it, and then you still have to do the chart analysis and decide what you're going to do. So I do thank you for attending today's webinar, and look forward to seeing you at other webinars in the future. Darla, turning it back over to you.
Thank you, Darrell. The recording for this webcast will be posted on Trader Planet within the next 24 hours, and we will be emailing the link for the recording to each of you. If you are interested in seeking further information on Vantage Point intermarket analysis software, we urge you to contact our friends at Market Technologies, the makers of Vantage Point, via the phone number on your screen. This concludes today's presentation. Thank you for attending, and all of us here at Trader Planet wish you a pleasant evening.